our backs to start our class tonight. Beautiful. We'll come on down to our back to start our class tonight, as I was saying. If you've got a towel or a blanket or something like that, grab that, and we're going to pop that down in between your shoulder blades. So I've got my block there on a low height. I personally don't like having it on a nice high height or anything like that. It's a bit too extreme for my shoulders. We're just going to let the arms fall down to either side, get a bit of an opening through the chest. So for a lot of us, I know I've spent a lot of time at my desk this afternoon doing some computer stuff, getting some admin work done. So this one can often feel quite nice for those of us who spend a bit of our day at a desk or something like that. So getting that opening through the chest, and I know I can really feel this, just these sort of upper pec muscles and that kind of thing are a little bit tight from being over a keyboard. So we're going to stay here for about 10 to 12 breaths. Now, obviously, if you've got any injuries and that kind of thing, and this doesn't agree with you, you can just lie flat on the floor. And I'll encourage you to have your palms up to the sky just to let the chest open a little bit. So you want to be getting that feeling of the chest opening. So wherever you are, let's take about another 7 or so breaths here. Make these into nice, long, slow breaths. Maybe sigh it out if that feels good. Let go of anything that's been going on during the day. And then from here, if it feels good, you can bring the feet to the floor, and we'll slowly start to roll off to one side. If you've got something underneath you, slowly release that out from underneath, and we'll come all the way down onto our backs. Taking a little rock and a roll out, hug the knees in towards the chest here. Maybe stretch the legs up to the sky, take a little roll out through the ankles, and maybe pull the knees in a little bit to get a stretch through the back of the legs here. And taking a little roll out through the ankles. My feet are flat on the floor here. And from here, we'll bring it into a happy baby. So my knees are going to come out nice and wide. And I'm either going to grab the back of my knees, or if I've got the space, I'm going to reach up and grab the outside of my feet or my ankles, depending on where I'm at. And my knees stay out nice and wide. I'm getting some opening through the hips and a bit of a stretch through the glutes. Maybe take a little rock and a roll from side to side. My head stays on the floor here. So you'll notice admittedly my ponytail, but my head is in contact with the floor and is supported. I don't have my head up in the sky like this, straining through my neck. So take another breath or two here. Knees are out nice and wide to allow space for the belly. Exhale, let it go. Maybe release the feet. Knees come into center. Take a little bit of a rock and a roll here. Use the legs, create a little bit of momentum if that feels good, and we come up to a seat. So once we reach our comfortable seat, bring the soles of the feet to touch, knees out nice and wide. And I'm going to fold forward here, getting a little bit of opening through the hips. And through the groin. So 2 or 3 more breaths. And then slowly start to release again. I'm going to roll it down, take a little rock and a roll again. Coming back down to my back. And the knees come out. So my knees are at right angles here, as if I'm sitting in a chair. My belly draws down towards my spine. I'll start to warm up through the core here. So keep the shoulders and chest nice and open. And drop the knees down to one side. Stretch out that top leg, getting a nice stretch through the hip, through the side of the body. Use the core, bring yourself back to center. So I'm not using my arms here. Drop the knees down to the opposite side. If you've got the space, you can start to stretch out that top leg slightly. I've got a wall in the way, so I don't have space. So take that same stretch, lift it back up towards center, not using my hands. Drop it over to the side. Beautiful. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, over to the opposite side. Inhale to lift. And then from here, exhale, roll it over to the side. My whole body's going to roll over to that side this time. I'll use my arm as a pillow here. And I'm going to stretch that top leg out nice and long, and the foot's going to come down to the floor. My other arm is going to come out over the top. I'm going to stretch out through the side of my body here. So a little bit of a weird one, not a typical yoga pose per se, but getting a stretch through the side of the body, opening up through the ribs. So all the way, reach, 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 then bend everything back in, roll it over, use your core here, roll it over to the other side. So adjust yourself on your mat if you need. My legs are bent here, and I'm going to stretch my top leg out nice and long, and my top hand is going to reach out nice and long as well, get an opening through that top side of the body. So not your typical yoga pose, so you can see I'm coming into a little bit of a banana shape here. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths. And then inhale, lifting, bending everything back up, coming back over to my back. And I'll take a little rock and a roll, coming up to a seat again, and roll it all the way over. However you get there, we'll come to all fours. So once again, throughout the practice tonight, take this at your own pace. If anything doesn't quite work for you, make sure you honor what your body needs. So planting all the knuckles of the hands down into the mat, we'll take a round of cat-cow here. So inhale, looking up, dip the belly. Exhale, rounding through. Beautiful. Inhale, dip the belly, shoulders roll down the back. And exhale, rounding through. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. And tucking the toes under, we'll walk the hands back, taking a little stretch through the soles of the feet. Maybe walk the body from side to side here. Activating through the feet. So we want the feet and the toes to be nice and active so that when we come up to some of our standing postures, we've got that all worked out. And we've got a bit of activity, a bit of life through the feet to help with your balance. Walk the hands back, take a tap out through the tops of the feet. A little bit of a massage, and then walk the hands forward, tuck the toes under, and we'll push up to our first down dog of the class today. So taking it for a walk out, bend one knee, push the opposite heel down. Taking a few more breaths here. Awesome. center. Beautiful. Drop the heels down. So keep the shoulders away from the ears here. So really draw the shoulders down the back. Rotate the elbow bones around to the back of the room in a little bit of a rotation. From here, lift the heels up. Roll the body all the way forward. Curl through the spine. Coming to a plank position. Beautiful. Exhale, lower the knees, push the hips back up to the sky. Take another little circle here. Roll forward. Head comes through last. Settle into your plank. Bend the knees, pushing everything back up. Beautiful. Shoulders draw down away from the ears. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths here. And inhale, lift up to tiptoes, and then we'll walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. Taking a ragdoll pose, grasping opposite elbows, maybe a little sway from side to side. And exhale, hands release down to the mat and rolling all the way up to stand. Shoulders come up last. Give them a little bit of a roll out. Beautiful. Settle into your Tadasana or mountain pose. Open the hands out. Keep that chest nice and open here. Take another breath or two. Maybe a little roll out through the neck can feel nice here. If that's you, do that. Maybe roll it all the way around if that feels good. Maybe take it back in the opposite direction. Coming back to center. Beautiful. And rock the body forward and back. And as you know, we woke up through the feet before with a little bit of a stretch. Rock the feet, rock forward and back through the feet. And try and notice all the corners, all the little bits of the sole of your foot planted onto the floor here. Really trying to wake up those feet to help with some of our balance. Beautiful. Inhale, arms lift up, bring them up overhead. Clasp the hands overhead in a little pistol grip if that works for you. And I know you can't see my head, but we're going to tilt the hands and the shoulders over to the right hand side on the exhale. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears here. Get a stretch through the side of left hand side of your body. And from here, I want you to keep all corners of both feet planted in the floor. So we're not lifting up through that left foot. Keep it planted. Taking one more breath here. Then inhale, lifting back up to center, and then exhale, bring it over to the other side, so to the left. Once again, shoulders stay down away from the ears. Engage the core here to help support you. Inhale, lift it all the way up, and hands come down to your hips. If you've got the space, you can roll your shoulders back, and from here, inhale, lift the chest. Drop the shoulders back, coming into a little back bend. Only coming as far as you are able though. Make this your practice. If this is not for you, you can keep a neutral spine here. Taking one more breath. Shoulders, elbows squeeze back. Chest lifts. Inhale, arms to rise all the way up. And then exhale, bring them down through heart center. Taking one more breath here. Inhale, arms rising all the way up, and exhale, swan diving all the way forward. So nice long swan dive all the way down. Taking a halfway lift here, flat back. Exhale, hands release down to the mat, stepping back on that right foot, nice and long. Beautiful. Drop that back knee down towards the floor, and then inhale, lifting up, crescent lunge. Or low lunge, sorry. This low runner's lunge is really good if you spent a lot of time at a desk. You can really drop those hips down towards the floor, get an opening through that right hip flexor. Taking one or two more breaths here. And exhale, hands release down to the mat. Tuck the toes under, and we'll step it back to a plank position here. So not to our down dog, to a plank. Lower the knees down to the floor. And exhale, this time lower all the way down to the mat. Beautiful. Inhale, take a little cobra. And exhale to lower. Bring the hands out to the side. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, we drop the right shoulder down to the floor. Little twist here. Inhale, lifts us back up. Exhale, twist left shoulder down to the mat. Little twist. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Hands come in by the ribs again. Tuck the toes under. Pushing back up. Down dog. All the way up this time. Awesome. From here, inhale, lift up that right leg. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose, step it through. Beautiful, nice big step. Give it a helping hand if you need. Option to drop that back knee down to the floor for this round. And then inhale, lifts us all the way up to the sky. Take that low lunge again. Grasp the left hand in, or left wrist in the right hand. Draw it over to the side. Take a little side bend here, only to where you're capable of. And take those hands down in a nice big circle, down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift that leg, stepping it forward. Take that halfway lift and fold. Inhale, lift us all the way up. Brace the core as you lift and lower. Exhale, hands to heart center. If you get any dizziness and that kind of thing, you can stay down all fours as we come all the way up. Take this as slow or as fast as you are capable of. If you do get any dizziness, just make sure you're being very mindful of that. The up and down can cause some dizziness. Inhale, arms to rise. Exhale to fold, nice and slow if you need. Inhale takes us to a halfway lift. That halfway lift can be omitted if you suffer any dizziness. Stepping back on the left leg. Left knee drops down. Let's lift it up to that low lunge again. Awesome. Keep that core braced here to help keep you stable. Push the top of that left back foot into the floor as well to help with your stability. Exhale, hands release down to the mat. Tuck the back toes under and we'll step it back to a plank position. Option to drop the knees down to the floor and exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Graze the ribs with your elbows. Inhale takes us to a cobra. Exhale to lower. Hands come out wide. Striking cobra, lift up. Utilize the muscles of your back. Exhale, right shoulder down. Inhale. Exhale to the left, facing to the right. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Hands come back, tuck toes under. We push back, down dog. Coming onto our left hand side here. Inhale, left leg lifts up to the sky. Keep the hips level. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Beautiful. Option to drop that back knee down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, left hand grabs the right wrist here, twisting towards or bending slightly towards your left. Exhale, hands come down, a nice big circle down to the mat. Tuck the back toes under and stepping it forward. Inhale takes us to a half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale lifts us all the way up, hands to heart. Inhale, arms to rise. Exhale, folding. Inhale takes us back to that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift that right leg all the way up high. From here, hands down on the mat here. You can bend that knee, get a bit of work through the hamstring and extend it. One more, bend the knee and extend it if that's an option. Beautiful. Exhale, draw it down behind that left knee. Inhale to lift. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, drop it down nice and long. Inhale, lifting up, crescent lunge here, a little bit funky. Left hand grabs right wrist, twist it to the side. Exhale, float it all the way down to the mat. Step it back, take your flow. Option to bring the knees down to the floor if you like. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back through to down dog. Remember to look after yourself. Because I don't have the camera on, I can't see all of you. Take responsibility for how your body is feeling. Check in with yourself here. Is there anything that's not quite working for you? Anything you need to modify? Inhale, take a deep breath in. Lift the right leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, open through the hip, getting a bit of a twist and a bend through the body. Right hand side opens. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. Step it through. Beautiful. Inhale, lifting up. Crescent lunge on the other side. Awesome. Inhale, one more breath in. Exhale, float the hands down to the mat. Lift, or towards the mat anyway. We're going to lift up through that left leg. Float those arms back. Squeeze those shoulders, coming into an aeroplane pose. One more breath in here. Exhale, tap that back knee in towards that standing leg. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, release that back lifted leg in behind that standing right leg. So your legs are crossed here, and I'm going to come into a forward fold, stretching through the hamstrings. And then from here, I'm going to walk my hands over to the left, getting a bit of a stretch through the side of my body here. A little bit funky, I know. Hands come back to center. Inhale, lift up that left leg. Exhale, step it back. Feet come beside each other. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath or two here. Inhale, arms to rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale takes us to a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Beautiful. From here, plant the hands down. Inhale, we lift up through that right leg. Or should I say, I think we did right leg before. Let's lift up through left leg. My mistake. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale to lift. Exhale, tap it in. Inhale to lift. I'm here in this forward fold. Bring the heel in towards the butt. Squeeze the hamstring. Extend it out. Squeeze the hamstring again. We don't do much with hamstring strength here in yoga. One more. And exhale. Release it out. Slowly release it back down to the mat. Inhale lifts us all the way up. Crescent lunge. Draw it over to the side. Right hand grabs left wrist, twist it down to the floor. And we step it back, high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Take your modifications as you need. Exhale, back through to down dog. Take a cat-cow there. So if your flow is not working for you, you've got an option to take a cat-cow as well, that we took at the start of class. Inhale, lift up through the left leg. Bend the knee, open through the hip. Glutes are working here, everything working in the legs. Exhale, bring that knee all the way through to the nose. Step it through. So that hamstring strength we were working in the leg before is really good. When you come up into this twisted three-legged dog, bring a knee through, keep that hamstring engaged, step it through, keep the foot lifted till the last minute. Inhale, let's lift up, crescent lunge. Little bit funky here today. When you're ready, take another breath in here. Inhale, let's lift, float that back leg. Hands come back behind you for an aeroplane pose. Keep that hamstring engaged, keep that leg lifted. Exhale, tap it in behind. Inhale to lift. You'll see where we're going with this in a minute. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Cross those legs over. Take that forward fold with the legs crossed. Twist the hands around to your right. Beautiful. Opening through the back of the legs. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, lift up that right leg, step it back down. Inhale, takes us to a half lift. Fold. When you're ready, inhale, lifts us all the way up to the sky. Hands to heart. How are we feeling? Let's go one more round. We're going to mix it up and tack on a little bit to the end here. To get a little bit of a hip opener here as well. Inhale, arms to rise all the way up. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, takes us to a nice halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold, plant the hands. This time, our left foot lifts up. Exhale, knee to back of knee. Inhale, lift. Knee to back of right knee. Inhale, lift. Keep the hips nice and level here. Adjust your balance if you need. Heel comes into the butt. Squeeze the hamstring. Exhale, release it out. One more. Hamstring strength. Stretch it out long. Reach it back with control. Inhale, lift it up. And right hand grabs right wrist. Bring it over all the way into a circle. Hands come down to the mat. Step it back, high to low. Knees if you need. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back through to down dog. From here, our right foot is going to lift up high to the sky. Bend the knee, open through the hip, getting an opening through the right hand side of the body. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose, squeeze the hamstring. Step it through. Beautiful. Inhale, let's lift up, crescent lunge. Awesome. From here, building on. Exhale, coming into that warrior two pose. Flip and reverse. Exhale, windmill all the way around. And coming back up to a crescent lunge. Working a little bit of rotation here. Exhale, twisting towards that front leg. Inhale to lift. Challenge your balance here. Exhale, twist towards. Inhale, arms around in a circle. Exhale to twist. Inhale. Use those arms. Nice big circle. Float the legs, back leg up. Aeroplane pose. From here, tap the knee into the right, left knee into right. Inhale to lift it back up. Exhale, one more, shoulders back. Lift. From here, exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Bend that knee. Bring your left knee down behind your right ankle and sit the body down in between your feet. So you've got your right leg over the top of your left leg. Bring your butt all the way down to the floor. If your butt cheeks don't quite reach the floor here, you've got an option to stretch your left leg out nice and long in front. So, like so, if you need. Otherwise, if you're keeping your legs nice and bent, beautiful. Inhale, lift up through the left arm. Exhale, twisting in towards your right knee. Or elbow can come all the way over if you've got the space. Keep the spine nice and tall here. One more breath here. Inhale, arms to rise all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands all the way over to the front. Bring the weight into the feet, push up. Bring that left foot in behind, hook it in behind the right. And walk it round to the side again. Take one more breath here. Bring it back to center. Lift the left leg up and release. Feet come together in the center of the mat. Take a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise with control. Hands to heart. Taking a breath or two here. One more side and then we come down to the mat. Thank God, says everyone. Inhale, arms to rise. Exhale, fold, swan diving forward. Inhale takes us to a halfway lift. Exhale to fold, plant the hands. This time we lift up through the left leg. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale to lift. Second side, exhale. Inhale to lift. Beautiful. Heel comes in and release. One more. Heel comes in and release. Step it back. Beautiful. Inhale, lifting up, crescent lunge. Grab the hand and bring it round in a circle. Frame the front foot. Step it back, high to low. Inhale and exhale. Settle in here, taking one or two more breaths. Inhale, let's lift that left leg high to the sky. Rotate the hip open. Beautiful. Inhale, bring it all the way around. Control, stability through the hips. Left leg comes forward. Inhale, we lift it all the way up. Engage your core. Exhale, open it out, warrior two. This time we flip reverse. Exhale, windmill all the way around. And up, crescent lunge again. Exhale to twist. Inhale, arms come up. Two more here. Stay stable. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale to twist. Use that core for the twist. Inhale, arms to rise. That's it. Exhale. In a big circle, lift that back leg up. Keep the core stable. Take a little hop if you need. One or two more breaths here. Shoulders draw back. Exhale. Tuck it in. Inhale. And exhale. Bend that standing leg. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Bring it all the way down with control. And release it down. Make sure your feet, sole of my foot is cramping from that balance work. That sometimes happens. Beautiful. Plant the feet down. Bring the butt down onto the floor. If you struggle to bring both butt cheeks onto the floor, we'll stretch that right leg out nice and long. Inhale, arms to lift, right arm lifts up. Give that knee a little bit of a hug in. Take that twist. If you've got the space, elbow can hook around. Taking a couple of breaths here. Keep the spine nice and long. Use that left arm pushed on the mat behind you to maintain that. And exhale, slowly release, bring the hands, everything back to center. Walk the hands back around to the front of your mat. Push into the feet. Take that little hook of the feet. Walk the hands around to the side. And then back to center. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Bring it in beside. Take a half lift and fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, hands to heart. Beautiful. Inhale, arms to lift all the way up, and exhale to fold. Beautiful. Inhale, take a halfway lift, exhale to fold. Coming into a yogi squat or a little bit of a modified one. So you can bring the heels together here. Knees out nice and wide, and we'll open through the groin here in a little bit of a balanced pose here. I'm on my tips of my toes, my heels are lifted and in towards center. Hands or elbows push the knees out to the side, getting a little bit of an opening through the groin, but it's an active version here. Hands can come down to the mat, and I'll slowly start to make my way down to the mat, taking a seat. Stretching the legs out nice and long. I'm going to stay down on the mat here, so stretch the legs out long. Inhale, arms to rise. Exhale, folding forward. Take a little stretch through the hamstrings here. Then inhale, lifting all the way up. Stretch those legs out nice and wide, and we'll take a little forward fold in this wide-legged dragonfly position. Open them as wide as you can. Take a little forward fold here. Then inhale to lift. So I'm keeping a little bit of engagement through my core here to help protect my spine. Shuffle yourself around if you need. Draw the left foot in towards the right thigh. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. And exhale, drop that right hand down towards the right leg. Stretch it down towards the toes. Open it out to the side. So your chest is facing your bent left knee. Inhale, lift it all the way back up. Left hand comes down to the mat. Push the left knee in towards the floor, lifting up and around in a circle, get an opening through the left-hand side of the body. Exhale, release. We're going to come onto the other side. So adjust your body if you need. Right foot comes into left thigh. Inhale, arms to rise. Body is tall. Exhale, rotate it round. Body faces the right leg. Tilt it down. Left arm reaches for the toes, for the ankle, for the shin. And right hand comes up and over the top. You can keep a slight bend in that left leg, left knee if you like. If your hamstrings are tight like mine are. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths here. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Right hand comes down to the mat behind you. Push the right knee into the floor, lift up through the hips. And exhale, slowly release all the way down. Stretching the legs all the way out again. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into a little cross-legged position. So this is option number 1. Option number 2, if you've got the space, you can bring that left ankle or front ankle on top of the other ankle, so you're in this funky cross-legged position. Wherever you are here, we're going to take a little fold forward just for about 5 breaths to get a bit of an opening through the hips. If you're at your maximum here and your hips are already feeling this and the fold forward is not for you, you can skip the fold forward. I know for me, this is already enough for my hips, having my ankle stacked on top of my knee. If I go back to option 1, I can, however, fold forward. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Change the cross of the legs here. Use a little boat pose and change the cross of your legs. Take yourself into that standard cross-legged position for option 1, or work your way, use your hands, maybe adjust into option 2 if that's an option for you. And then take your fold forward if that works for you. from here, we slowly start to release the legs again. Maybe take a little windscreen wiper from side to side if that feels good. And then we slowly start to release down towards the mat. As we slowly start to release down, give the knees a little bit of a hugging towards the chest. If a supine twist feels good for you, please feel free to take that. Otherwise, give the knees a hugging towards the chest and hold there. If you're coming into your supine twist, maybe take the second side here, adjust the hips. And we'll release into our final pose, Shavasana. So release the body all the way out nice and long. Shoulders, palms face up towards the ceiling. Give the shoulders a chance to open. All the tips of the shoulders, the very far corners, drop down onto the mat. Chest opens. Try and assess where your pelvis is in space. Is your spine straight, or is your pelvis tilted around towards one side? Can you notice any spots of tension? And as you exhale, maybe envisage or visualize that tension leaving the body. From here, slowly bring a little bit of movement back into the fingers and toes. If you've got a little bit of extra time here tonight, you may choose to stay here and rest a little bit longer on your back. Otherwise, if you need to move on with your evening, bring that movement into the fingers and toes, and then slowly rolling over to your preferred side, whatever that is for you. Once you arrive on your side, slowly going to come all the way up to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Bring the hands to the heart center, taking a breath or two here. My quote for you today is from Carl Sagan, who said, "For small creatures such as we, the vastness is only bearable through love." So my thoughts for you tonight are, go out, have love, express love. Where can you express some love this evening? To yourself, to those around you, to your body, for carrying you through this practice. So have an amazing evening, guys. If you've got any comments or questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys maybe on the weekend for one of our Saturday or Sunday classes.